A possible environmental disaster now unfolding in the Red Sea following a Houthi attack on an oil tanker carrying roughly 1 million barrels of crude. But as National Review points out, we're not hearing any outrage from far-left climate activists who are rarely shy about speaking out. The attack happened near Yemen, where the Iranian proxy group is based. And joining us now is Daniel Turner, founder and executive director of Power the Future. The environmentalists are really hot and heavy on a lot of things, but for some reason, not on this. And it's 4 times the size of the Exxon Valdez spill. What's going on?
Yeah, this is a huge environmental disaster, and it's not surprising that these groups are playing politics. It is an election year, and these groups, the usual actors, Greenpeace, Sierra Club, National Resources Defense Council, they're all in on the Biden-Harris administration that has punished fossil fuels, that has unleashed trillions of dollars in green spending. So they want Kamala Harris. But if they were to bring attention to this environmental disaster, it opens up a can of worms. Why do the Houthis have all this money? Well, they got it from Iran. Why does Iran have all this money? Well, the Biden-Harris administration got rid of all of the sanctions that were imposed on them. So now they are flush with cash. The Israelis know this better than anybody. So it opens up an enormous can of worms that the Biden-Harris administration and their terrible energy policies aren't just bad domestically, but they've unleashed, chaos around the world, and they need to be held to account. So to avoid that, the green groups just forget about the climate, they forget about the environment, and they keep their heads down.
Do you think that any of those young people who think they're so clever by gluing their hands to a Van Gogh in a museum have any idea what's going on in Yemen? I mean, 4 times the size of the Exxon Valdez, which nearly brought this country to its knees.
Yeah, it's great. And it's a great point to remember. And those of us who do remember that spill in 1989 know how it was a national story for months and months. And the reason why is because it made the energy industry look bad. And the energy industry did a great job cleaning it up. Yes, it was a terrible tragedy, but we got through it. But this tragedy that's happening makes the Biden-Harris administration look bad. So they're ignoring it. And it's really shameful that important issues like the environment are only weaponized for political gains. So these groups, they don't really care about the environment. They just care about power.
And so where do we go from here? Because the Houthis, they're obviously more sophisticated than people originally thought. I mean, it's not just like it was a ragtag group, but because they have the backing of Iran, they're a lot more sophisticated and it's hard to take things out. What has this done also to the oil market? The prices people are paying and the restrictions on trying to get crude from one place to the next.
Yeah, well, oil has been persistently high for the last couple of years, and we've seen it trickle down across the price of everything that we pay. Oil historically should be $45, $50 a barrel, and it's been in the high 70s, 80s for years now because of the Biden-Harris administration's terrible energy policies. And this has been bad for the economy domestically, but it's been great for actors like Russia, who has invaded Ukraine with their wealth, like Iran, et cetera. So again, energy prices and energy policies are world peace, they're world economics, and Harris has none. She has none on her website. Let me ask you
one last question before we lose you. Tonight she'll do her first interview. She'll be with her vice presidential nominee, Tim Walz. She has said that she is now not against fracking. If you had a chance to ask her a question tonight, what would you want her to answer?
Well, if I may politely disagree, she hasn't said anything. Her campaign has put out statements by anonymous staffers, and that's not the same. And that is giving her plausible deniability to say, I never said I reversed my ban on fracking. And these green groups are being quiet because they know she's playing coy because they're in the pocket. They're in her pocket. So, an honest question would be, ma'am, why did you reverse your fracking ban? Do you really disagree with your fracking ban? Was Biden wrong to have a ban on fracking or to cancel Keystone Pipeline? So, these are honest, easy questions, but she won't get asked any of them today.
They're easy questions. Maybe the answers should be easy, but they might not be. Daniel Turner, thanks for joining us. We'll keep an eye on this oil spill in the Red Sea. Appreciate you.
Thanks.